Hey guys, Jesse Campbell here, realtor and certified hyperlocal real estate specialist with the agency. Today I just want to talk about different kinds of loan programs that you can use for financing and the pros and cons. So generally speaking, the more you put down, the better loan terms you're probably going to be able to get. My one caveat with that is the VA loan, which is a VA benefit for veterans. Um, even though it's a great benefit, and I personally use it for my own purchase because I was in the Marine Corps, um, you got to be careful because now your loan to value ratio is 100%. So you need to liquidate your property faster. Even though you got great financing terms, your loan to value ratio is still incredibly high, and so your equity is going to be low for longer. But that being said, in general, still, the more of the loan to value ratio of the house that you borrow, the worse terms you're going to get, and the more you put down, and then the least you finance, the better for you, the consumer. That, of course, is in like if you take it to a logical extreme of paying cash, you got no financing terms, and it's better for the seller because you don't need to go through underwriting and yada yada yada. Whereas with things with very low to no down programs, those actually are a lot harder for the seller and stuff like that. And so not only are the low to no down programs worse terms for you, but they're also worse terms for the seller because the appraisal can come in low. They're a lot stricter on the appraisal, and they have conditions that are going to come into the thousands of dollars. We don't really know what's going to happen until we get there. That being said, it's better than nothing. You could be not paying towards your own equity. Here in Colorado Springs, we're currently projected, today is February 3rd of 2020, we're currently projected for at least another couple years of economic growth here in the Pikes Peak region alone. Like almost for sure, unless we have some sort of catabolic collapse or something like that, which is feasibly possible at every turn. So don't hold your breath necessarily. Now, as far as strategies go, again, in general, the more you put down, the better. And so if you're looking at, for a lot of like first-time buyers, for example, if you're looking at FHA versus FHA with the CHFA down payment assistance, it's going to look like a really cool thing to do the CHFA down payment assistance. But if you can help it, don't do it, because that down payment assistance is going to be either in the form of a non-forgivable grant, or I don't even know if anybody that can do the CHFA with a forgivable grant, or it can be with a second mortgage. And in most of those cases, you're going to owe that money back. And the worse credit you have, the worse terms you're going to get too, by the way. So pretty much the better you can look to the bank, the better terms that they'll give you. Like if you're saying, hey, there's a $500,000 house, I only need to borrow $20,000 from you, I have the rest of it. They're going to be like, oh, you only need like $20,000? That's, yeah, of course. If you have $480,000 in just cash reserves right now, of course we're going to loan you that $20,000. The likelihood that you're going to pay us back is very high, so we're even going to hook you up on the interest too. Conversely, with things like CHFA, there's a presupposition that you have close to nothing to put down. And so if someone approaches you wanting to borrow some money, and let's say they have a bad history or something like that, and you know it, and like maybe even you personally got ripped off by them or something like that, and they want more money, would you be likely to give it to them? Or would you be more likely if they had like cash reserves on hand? So these are just kind of things to kind of keep in mind as you go through your own purchase. A lot of people, it's going to be really, really enticing to take one of those programs. But in my opinion, if you can afford not to, don't, because you're going to have to pay that money back. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Also, they have worse interest rates. A little bit about VA loans. VA loans are a little bit different because it's a benefit from having served in the military. Like I mentioned, I was in the Marine Corps, so I got my VA loan. I used my VA loan. I used my cash down to keep my closing costs off of the seller because I was buying at a time when the market was in appreciation. So instead of putting my money down on the principal, I put my money on the closing costs instead of trying to ask for it, which at the time would have been denied. And that's just something that I was aware of. And so it will take longer for me to build the appreciation necessary to be able to sell this house. That was back in 2018. I could do it now and make a profit off it already, though. So it's really cool to be able to have something that gets your foot in the door for bigger things down the road. So that's, if you have to use 100% loan to value, you got to do what you got to do. You got to make a value judgment for yourself if you would rather pay your own equity or your landlord's equity, because you're paying someone's equity. Just be careful. Again, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Even with the VA loan, I don't have to pay mortgage insurance like FHA and CHFA does, and have more competitive interest rates. But I had to serve in the military to get that. I literally went to war and stuff, guys. So there's no such thing as a free lunch. In general, just what I really want to put out there is, if someone is promising you something that sounds too good to be true, hit me up. Ask me some questions. I do a lot of all kinds of different loan programs, of course, with other lenders doing the financing, whereas I'm just on the real estate side. But, get in contact with me. Let's start hashing this out, and let's see if this actually sounds like something that's really happening around the city, or if it sounds like it's something that's too good to be true. If it sounds like it's too good to be true, probably there's additional costs that are going to be tacked onto your principal or something like that. So don't be afraid to ask questions. If you want to reach out to me, obviously you can comment down below on whatever social media this is. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Or you can always call me or text me on my personal cell phone number, 801-391-5568. Or if you don't want to put yourself out there in public, or you don't feel comfortable, hit me up on my personal cell phone number. Go ahead and just shoot me a private message on whatever platform this is on as well, and I will definitely answer it. So I'm going to stop ranting for now. If you guys have any comments or questions, hit me up. All right. Thanks, guys.